very good leg spin. So they have a real great variety of bowlers here who will be able to get wickets for them at any time.
Played straight by Gunitulaka, fielded at mid-off by Virat Kohli. Actually, that's Jadeja. He's moved position. Ravi Jadeja, vastly underrated bowler. Actually, he was #1 Test bowler not so long ago, and he's actually the leading one-day wicket taker for India, which may have come as a surprise to some. But you know, this is still quite an inexperienced Indian pace attack. Kumar, Bumrah have only really been playing for India for the last couple of years, as this is played aerially up over the mid-wicket region, just plonks down outside the circle. So a risky shot to play inside the first 3 overs, but maybe a statement of intent as well. Another run to the score, 7 without loss, 1 ball left of the third.
Yes, I think the field at mid-on just got very close to that. It didn't go very far away from him.
We saw a few shots from the Indian batsmen which looked like mishits, or that they hadn't got hold of the ball, and the ball just seemed to keep flying into the crowd. As Kumar is in again, this is a touch fuller, and Gunitulaka goes for an expansive cover drive which he doesn't field, and is stopped by Ravi Jadeja, fielding at mid-off.
It's a very sedate start here by the Sri Lankans, but I suppose Dikwella, he seems to be someone with some sort of intent. He looks like he wants to play some shots, and if it comes in his driving range, I'm sure that he would dispatch it in the areas that he would like to. He seemed to be not a guy that would like to just get his eye in. He looks like he would want to get Sri Lanka off to a very good start here.
He's going to face the first delivery of the 4th over, and exactly as Sir Clive Lloyd just mentioned, he wants to get on with it. Just moving towards the leg side and really just throwing everything at a short delivery from Umesh Yadav, which he misses and goes through to the keeper. 7 without loss inside the 4th over. Scored 41 from just 33 balls against South Africa last time out, at a point when Sri Lanka was scaring their opponents. But really, Sri Lanka desperate for a good start as Yadav approaches the crease here, and again it's a short delivery, and Dikwella looks to the square leg umpire, and a wide is signalled. 8 without loss inside the 4th over. The target 3-2-2 if Sri Lanka are to pull off a surprise win here in the Champions Trophy on TalkSport 2 and Cricket Radio. It's a more than healthy crowd here, Clive. I think there's still a few Indian fans who are grabbing a bite to eat, though. After the mid-innings break, Yadav down, and he strays down the leg side. It's flicked up towards fine leg and just drops short.
He's, looking at Dikwella, the way he's playing, he's moving all over the crease, really. He goes back, then he comes forward. I don't know if he's trying to put the ball off, but I don't know what is his aim, but to me it looks like he wants to sort of capitalize on this first 10 overs.
Does indeed. Gunitulaka is going to face, though he hasn't faced the ball. He's squared up by a straightish delivery from Umesh Yadav. The ball flying down to third man for a single. That's Kumar fielding down there. One slip in place, as you mentioned, Clive. You've got third man.
I'm wondering about this man at point.
Well, it's a kind of short point, isn't it? It's a backward point on the circle, and he's just going out a few paces now. It's Ravi Jadeja came to a more traditional fielding position on the edge of the circle against Dikwella, who advances down the track. He is like a bumblebee trapped in a jar at the moment. He's moving forward, back, to the sides.
Well, he moves backwards, then he comes back in line, and I don't know what is his position and what he's trying to do. I don't know if he's trying to put the bowler off or what, but I think Yadav is pretty smart, and he's looking and bowling the ball at him, really.
Umesh Yadav down again, it's short again, and on the pull, Dikwala. Jadhav fielding at fine leg. So another single. So it's a high-risk strategy, which is just picking up the singles at the moment. 11 without loss, 1 ball left of the 4th.
Yes, I don't know. It's strange, but I think that's the way he plays, and it's interesting to see, for us to see what happens if he stays in there for another 10 overs or so.
Danushka Gunatilaka is playing defensively. Sees off the final ball of the 4th over, and still pushing around 88, 89 miles an hour. Yadav takes his jumper from the umpire, and it is a cold day today here in London.
I know you talked about the crowd, and I must say that in all the games we've had some terrific crowds. So it's obvious that it's a very popular competition, and you have people who really want to see 50 over cricket.
This ground is very often full, whether it's domestic cricket in the NatWest Blast, international Test cricket during usually the month of August, although this year, for the Oval's 100th Test match, the match against South Africa actually played in July. Kumar's in again, and this is just back of a length and punched to backward point. No run. 11 without loss. We haven't had a boundary yet. And these have been tight lines operated from both Kumar and Umesh Yadav, Clive.
Sorry, I didn't know.
Just saying they've been very straight, no width offered, very tight lines, which is one of the reasons probably that Dikwala is moving around on the crease so much.
Well, they tend to do that. These guys really will not give you any width for you to hit it over the infield. They're very experienced, actually, although they might think they're not.
There's a huge swipe across the line from Dikwala, targeting the mid-wicket boundary. There's a short mid-wicket in place. Mid-on is quite wide. And the fielder is just in front of square on the leg side.
It's obvious that Dikwala's probably seen Jayasuriya bat. So
Jayasuriya will probably be about 25 by now. Again, back of the length, dropped down to his toes by Dikwala. 11 without loss. Bhuvneshwar Kumar, leading wicket taker in the Indian Premier League, just gone, bowling for Sunrisers Hyderabad.
Yes, I like his action. I like the way he bowls. He's very stiff at times, and you can't just hit him at will.
There's shades of Chris Wokes about Kumar. Fuller, and there's an outside edge which may pop up for the first wicket of the day. Indeed it is. Ravi Jadeja steadying himself at backward point and taking a comfortable catch, and Bhuvneshwar Kumar has got rid of the dangerous Dikwala for just 7 runs. The first wicket falls for Sri Lanka, chasing 322. They're 11 for 1, and that's a big blow, Clive.
Yes, it is. As I said, I've seen him bowl on television. He's a very intelligent bowler, and he's quicker than you might think. He swings it, and he just shows you that you couldn't just come and want to smack him out of the ground. And I think that's what Dikwala tried to do, and he just got undone with a very good ball that just sort of left him and got a bit of pace and bounce. So it surprised him, and he just spooned up to the man there at the point. So that's it, sort of given the Sri Lankans a bit of a setback here, and they will have to now sort of consolidate and see that they shouldn't. If they lose any more wickets, then India will then, I presume, bring in their spinners as early as possible.
So the dismissal of Dikwala brings to the crease Kusal Mendis. Some of the very famous names that we've mentioned and continue to be mentioned when you talk about Sri Lanka, Jayawardene and Sangakkara, Dilshan, of course. there is hope that this young man, right-handed batsman, 22 years of age, may one day go on to replicate some of the many feats achieved by the batsman I've just mentioned. Scored his first ODI 100 against Bangladesh in March, and Sri Lanka really looking to him in all forms of the game to be a crucial member of their top order, but it's batsman did cross, so Gunatulaka facing Kumar and just crashes this 2-point no run. 11 for 1 ball left of the fifth.
दाएं हाथ के बल्लेबाज युवा खिलाड़ी है बांग्लादेश श्रीलंका के, माफ कीजिएगा, 26 पारियों में 856 रन बनाए हैं 35 के एवरेज से। ये भी खासे नए खिलाड़ी है श्रीलंका के। Bhuvneshwar का यहाँ पर सामना करेंगे Gunatulaka 3 रन पर।
Gunatulaka seizing on a little bit of width and a short delivery from Bhuvneshwar Kumar, and that's the first boundary of the Sri Lankan innings. He's carved that through past short extra cover, and Sri Lankan fans finally something to cheer. And if you have a look around the oval, suddenly there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a few Sri Lankans in the crowd. They've been drowned out so far by the Indians. But they're here.
They were hiding for a while, but out to support they're hoping that they will probably not lose too many wickets because this is still a good pitch and they'd like to see them put up a pretty good effort.
Mendes is going to face his first delivery. He scored a quite marvellous match-winning 100 against Australia, Clive. Australia were playing in Sri Lanka, test match. They bowled Sri Lanka out very cheaply. Had a first innings lead of 90, 100, and Sri Lanka were 86 for 4. And Mendes hit 176 to turn the game on its head. Brilliant innings. This is just back of a leg, straight and played out to the covers.
Well, that shows that he has a lot of talent, and it's obvious that he's not daunted by any sort of task that
Umesh Yadav की तीसरी ओवर का सामना करेंगे मेंडिस।
And such an innings would probably he would remember
307 रन यहाँ से और चाहिए श्रीलंका को जीतने के लिए 45 ओवर में।
As I said early on in our conversation, Sri Lankans do have very good technically correct batsmen.
Mendes, this is a full delivery from Yadav. Gets the bat down on it cleanly, comfortably, no run. Ball goes up to mid-off where Virat Kohli fields. So 2 slips back in place for the new batsman, Kusal Mendes. Third man, backward point, cover point that's about 5 or 6 metres in from the circle, a mid-on, square leg, and fine leg as well, beaten. Here's Mendes. Attempter outside off stump. The batsman just withdrawing the bat at the last minute. 15 for 1 in the 6th over. You're listening to Talk Sport 2 and Cricket Radio. Sri Lanka have been set 322 to win this 50-over encounter, but they've got off to a poor start with Dikwala dismissed in the last over. There's an edge from the bat of Mendes, who will pick up a run. Flies through where third slip would be standing. Down to third man, so he's off the mark. He moves to 1. And Gunatulaka, 3 changes today. 7 not out. Will face up 1 delivery of this, the 6th over. My mistake, 2 balls left of this. Umesh Yadav, a real quality operator, can bowl in and around 90 miles an hour, can move the ball both ways. He's got a great surprise bouncer.
Over the wicket, ये गेंद ऑफ स्टंप पर एक और बार बाहर की तरफ निकलने वाली गेंद बाहर की तरफ लगा है।
From the pavilion end,
में गेंद गई है, केदार जाधव वहां मौजूद है।
will take another single.
यहाँ पर मेंडिस और खादा
He moves to 8, 17 for 1.
बाहर एक बार फिर गेंद थी, थर्ड मैन की दिशा देना चाहते थे, बाहर किनारा लगा,
India do have a very good
और एक रन मिला, 16 रन 1 विकेट के नुकसान पर श्रीलंका का स्कोर है। छठा ओवर जारी है, यादव अपनी 5वीं गेंद डालेंगे। गुनतिलका स्ट्राइक पर आ चुके हैं, पिछले ओवर में चौका लगाया है उन्होंने। 7 रन पर खेल रहे हैं, 12 गेंदों का सामना किया है। यादव की फिलहाल 5वीं गेंद का सामना करेंगे। बाएं हाथ के बल्लेबाज,
their attack is varied but very, very professional.
Well, Mohammed Shami can't even get in the side as it stands. Back of a length again from Yadav. Good pace here at the Oval. The batsman forced onto the back foot, and it's a dot ball. And this is another aspect of Umesh Yadav's game. It's not just about wickets. You know, he took 3 for 30 against Pakistan, but 30 dot balls in that innings.
Yes, and on a pitch that is just giving him some help, he's very lively, very strong young man. And, you know, this is a side that much better than the Indian sides of the past. They didn't have this sort of variety and pace, and it's good to see. And I think that they will do. That's why they've done so well in one days and in test matches.
Well, Mohammed Shami, just to give you an example of the depth that they've got, right arm fast medium bowler. Averages under 25 in ODIs, but hasn't played since 2015 World Cup, partly through injury, but partly, or more mainly, because Jasprit Bumrah has come into the side and really made a position in it his own. He's not in just yet, though. It's Kumar, who's now coming round the wicket. First delivery played into the offside by Mendes, or Gunatilaka, I should say. For another run. So 18 for one ball of the 7th over. And Kumar's not as nippy as Umesh Yadav, but his skills are more towards swing bowling and variation. But he can still bowl at around 87, 88 miles an hour, which, you know, with these overhead conditions, Clive, are absolutely perfect.
Yeah, and he's stiff. He's a stiff bowler. He's not, not pacey, and he moves it around, and he's not easy to get away. So that he's a pretty good opening partner for Yadav.
India applying the squeeze at the moment. Short delivery, which is pulled round by Mendes to fine leg for a single. 19 for one. The Indian fielders are certainly on the edge of the circle, are they? They're all in saving the one wherever possible.
Yes, I think they're anticipating their stroke play, and they're moving in rather quickly, and they're getting to the ball very quickly.
Kumar again from the Vauxhall end. This is cut away backward of square for a single. Nice looking shot. That moves the score along by one. Gunatilaka moves to 10, Mendes 2, 20 for one in the 7th over. And while that may seem like Sri Lanka are quite far behind the 8 ball, the run rate that they require is still this side of 7. They're going at around 6.5. There is no need to panic.
Well, no, I think that's why they don't want to lose wickets. They want to just keep at that rate and then accelerate a little later on.
Kumar again, not giving any width whatsoever. This is played up to mid-on for a single by Mendes. He's 2 not out. He's faced 7 balls now. I mean, a look at the India scorecard, real boom and bust. You've got some big numbers. Sharma, 78, Dhawan, 125, Dhoni, 63. But, Kohli, Singh and Pandya all came and went. And I just wonder whether this is a kind of pitch you do need to play yourself in. Certainly there's runs to be made. This is signalled a dead ball. So Kumar's going to have to make his way back to the top of his mark.
Well, even someone like Dhoni, who strikes the ball quite well, had to take some time before he could really, hit the ball with authority.
Mendes, the right-handed Mendes, is again straight back of a length, defensive from the number 3. 20 for one. 1 ball left of the 7th over. Of course, one bowler that we haven't even mentioned who can't get his way into this first 11, Ravi Ashwin.
Well, I thought he was injured, though, wasn't he? Or was he? But yeah,
I don't think so. Last ball of the over, it's short and pulled away past square leg. 2 runs from the bat of Kusal Mendes, which will double his score. So at the end of the 7th over, Mendes moves to 4. Gunatilaka is 10 not out. and the score 22-1, chasing 322. And after a word from Clive Lloyd, I will be replacing the commentary box by Chetan Narilla.
I don't know, I'm just wondering if I'm not reporting it right here. I thought he had an operation just after one of the test matches and he was unfit. But it's great to know that you have someone of that ilk in the bag to call on if you have a problem. And he bowls very well in these one-day games and test matches too.
Continuing from the pavilion, and this time swiveled by the batsman. It was Gunatilaka. 6 runs for the batsman. Shot on the middle and leg and just pulled it away. Clears the fence at square leg with ease. There was a fielder there, but he couldn't do anything but watch the ball sail across the boundary. And Sri Lanka's score moves on to 28 for 1 after 7.1 overs. They've lost the wicket of Niroshan Dikwela. It's Yadav once again to Gunatilaka, who plays it confidently. Middle and leg, this time off his pads, down towards square leg. And Kedar Jadhav is the fielder. As I'm joined in by England international Gareth Batty, who's very recently seen these Indian bowlers, or a majority of these Indian bowlers, in action.
Yeah, obviously this winter the tour to India, a pretty unsuccessful one for England, unfortunately, but yeah, to see some of these guys up close and personal, it's the skill levels are obviously magnificent.
England were always with a shout in that series, though. Just couldn't get that finishing touch. First 2 days of every test match, they were in with a shout.
Yeah, I mean, the first test match was probably our biggest downfall. I thought we played all the cricket.
Yadav to Gunatilaka, this time driven. Angled across, fuller delivery, angled across his stumps. He goes onto the front foot, punches it, finds the gap between extra cover and mid-off. Brilliant shot from Gunatilaka. His second 4 moves on to 22.
Yeah, beautiful cricket shot, right out of the textbook. High right arm from the left-hander, driving it through extra cover. Beautiful balance and poise. And again, we're showing what a brilliant cricket pitch this is. It's not a half volley, he's hit it at the top of the bounce. A shot that we'd say sort of hit it on the up a little bit, but you need great skill and balance to be able to do that, to get himself a 4.
He talked about that Rajkot test. Umesh Yadav bowled well there. Catches were dropped off him, but he really bowled well in that test. Flat track, but bowled well.
Yeah, I think with the Indians, the spinners get majority of the press, but the fast bowlers were quite magnificent during that series.
Made a difference, certainly. Umesh Yadav now coming round the wicket, slips still in position. Gunatilaka facing this time, angle onto his middle and leg. Played it straight to Yuvraj Singh, who is at mid-wicket, no run added.
He's got some real pace, hasn't he, Yadav? He's, and I suppose that was a criticism of India maybe 10 years ago, that they couldn't produce extreme pace. And now they have 2 or 3 guys that are up in the late 80s, 90s.
And we were talking in the first innings about India's magnificent batting pool or batting talent. How about the pacers? Shami, Bumrah, Bhuvneshwar, Kumar, Umesh Yadav. We'll come back to this point as Yadav bowls into Gunatilaka facing. He comes forward, defends it straight to the fielder at point. No run added.
And there's Ishan Sharma as well, who's
doesn't play ODI cricket that much now.
But he's sort of in and out of the team, isn't he, a little bit? And he's for me, he's getting better with age. I think he's understanding his bowling more. He's certainly more consistent. I think India are just in a very good place, full stop, with a squad of, say, 25 to 30 players they could pick in any format.
Yadav again to Gunatilaka, this time straighter delivery on his off and middle. He comes forward, punches it back to the bowler. No run added. That's the end of 8 overs. 12 from that one, a 6 and a boundary as well. 34 for 1. It'll be Kusal Mendes who will be facing the next over. Remains to be seen, will it be Bhuvneshwar Kumar continuing or not. Meanwhile, again, that series, obviously not one to remember for England in terms of result, but Virat Kohli, some magnificent innings in there.
Oh wow, I mean, we were having conversations about how do you actually get the man out, and it was just blank faces half of the time, because he technically is so correct in a lot of ways, and you were just trying to force something out of him, and we just couldn't get him to play a bad shot. We couldn't get him to fence at balls outside his eye line. He just played so well.
Bhuvneshwar Kumar continuing from the Vauxhall end. This time Kusal Mendes facing. Short of length outside the off-stump. Batsman goes onto his back foot, punches it down towards mid-off for no run. Tell me one standout discussion where anybody contributed. Okay, let's, in terms of a plan, okay, let's bowl this way to Virat.
We had a pretty good idea that he wanted to be dominant against the spinners, so we did have a chat. I'm not sure we actually did it in the end, but we had a chat about Adil Rashid bowling round the wicket at him. It's not something he does very often, but we thought we could almost go how Ashley Giles did to Tendulkar.
This time, short of length outside the off-stump, bit of width. Mendes helping it along. There was no second slip in position, and it goes down the boundary. Third man cannot cut it off. 4 for Mendes. He moves on to 8. First boundary for him. Score 38 for 1.
Yeah, great line and length. And this is what Bhuvanesh Kumar's known for. He challenges the batsman on that fourth off stump on a good length, looking to bring the slips into play. Unfortunately, not for the first time today, we see a bowler getting on the wrong end of what actually he's done nothing wrong there. It's just the rub of the green that's actually in this case shown as 4 runs down to third man, and with that has the horse bolted, but they're just putting mid-wicket into a sort of a wideish third stroke fourth slip.
How often do you see that in cricket? After the deed's been done. Well, 2 slips in position now. Bhuvneshwar Kumar bowling to Mendes this time. Short of length. Ball just a bit curving away from the batsman, who goes for a pull, plays and misses.
Yeah, without being disrespectful, it's kind of a short man's shot. It's sort of a back of a length ball. Absolutely nothing wrong with it, but you see the shorter guys who are fleet of foot, they try and rock back quickly and almost punch that off the back foot through mid-wicket. It's sort of a short arm jab pull shot, which the shorter fellas play very well because they're used to it being up and around the head.
Kumar once again to Mendes, beaten this time. Again back of length. This time the last delivery was going out. This time it comes in and just beats the outside edge.
He's all over him, isn't he? First ball nicked through a vacant second slip that he's got now. The next ball he's tried a pull shot from nothing. The ball after he's beaten him on the outside is just challenging him full stop on that area. He's pitching the ball pretty much in the same place. Some are going out, some are coming in, but it's just a really challenging area to be bowling.
And that second slip now moving much closer in its original position. This time again the ball coming in back of length. Bhuvneshwar Kumar can hit that length all day long. Dot delivery, and suddenly the batsman who had a 4, who had a boundary of the very second over, suddenly he's not feeling very comfortable, beaten twice in a row. He now needs to think now that he needs to be more solid.
Yeah, I mean, it's credit to Bhuvanesh how he's bowled. He's just challenging every batsman. Doesn't matter how good you are, nobody wants to be challenged on their right eye if they're a right-handed batsman, and he's just challenging that area the whole time.
Last ball of the over from Kumar. Fuller this time. The batsman comes forward, punches it back to the bowler. Dot delivery, 4 from that over. 9 overs gone, 38 for 1. In conversation with Gareth Batty here, with me, Chetan Narula, on TalkSport 2 in the UK and all over the world on Cricket Radio. You're listening to India versus Sri Lanka from the Oval. Predominantly Indian crowd, but a lot of Sri Lankan supporters here as well. It's grey, it's muggy, with a fleeting sun rays coming in as well. As looks like Umesh Yadav again getting on the top of his mark. Just returning to that India-England series one final time. Standout player for England though, Ben Stokes.
Yeah, I mean, he's coming from strength to strength, isn't he? He's everything. He's a brilliant fielder. He's fast with the ball and aggressive trying to take wickets. And his batting is getting better and better and better. You could pick him as a bowler or a batter.
Umesh Yadav to Gunatilaka. This time short of length on the off stump. The batsman pushes it towards backward point. Jadeja very quick on his feet there. No run added.
And I see some similarities in your man that gives great balance to this team, Pandya. He can bowl quickly. He's got a wonderful eye, that is for sure, and that's very Ben Stokes-like, and he's an absolute jet in the field. I think there's some real similarities between the two players.
Umesh Yadav running in. Only the 1 slip now to Gunatilaka. This time Fuller driven down the ground past the non-striker. Mid-on has no chance. Beautiful shot from Gunatilaka. Third boundary for him. 26 not out, off 23 now. 42 for 1.
Wow, if the previous drive was a good shot, this is out of the top drawer. He's basically come into sort of middle and leg stump as Yadav, and he stood tall and punched it down the ground with brilliant ease. High right arm, high technical ability, and absolutely screamed it past mid-on's right hand.
Yadav once again to Gunatilaka. Yadav has none for 24 so far into his 5th over. This time fuller. The batsman plays it back to the bowler. No run added.
But yeah, going back to Ben Stokes, I think that series was almost the making of him in a lot of ways as well, because we were on the wrong end of results. He stood up with bat and with ball, and then we were very lucky that the ECB allowed him to go to the IPL, which I think will take him on another level.
Was a brilliant performer in the IPL as well for rising Pune Super Giants was Ben Stokes. Yadav meanwhile to Gunatilaka, this time on the front foot, punched it towards the fielder at mid-on, Jasprit Bumrah, who was a bit deep, and the batsman set off for a single. 5 from this over so far, 43 for 1. They didn't allow him to play, again going back to Ben Stokes, didn't allow him to play the finals, the playoffs in fact, for rising Pune Super Giant. But again, throughout the tournament, I don't, bought for a high price tag. I don't remember one player who's bought for that much money who had made such an impact.
Yeah, I mean, but he's perfectly made for 2020 cricket, and particularly in India. Yeah, I mean, he smacks it out the ground, balls rockets, and a brilliant fielder.
Wide second slip in position for Kusal Mendes as Umesh Yadav comes from over the wicket to the right-handed batsman, angled in on his middle leg and plays it to Yuvraj Singh at mid-wicket. No run there on this ball. 5 runs from this over so far. Sri Lanka have made a good start.
They have, yeah. But just going back to that point with Ben Stokes in the IPL, I think it's actually brilliant for world cricket that some of our players can go play in the IPL. I think I played with Zaire Khan at Worcestershire, and I think that pushed his career on again.
Pujara is playing in England as we speak. This time, short of length on the off stump, and he's past the wick into backward point region. 3rd man in action, just a 1 from this last ball, 6 from the over. After 10 overs, it's 44 for 1.
Yeah, I just think it's brilliant for the cricketing world that players can go experience other conditions, other cultures, other ways of playing, and actually then bring it back into the environment that they were a better player and expanded their game and can pass on that knowledge. So we're actually just seeing brilliant cricket played across the world now, and I think a few years ago England would have been criticised they couldn't play the spinning ball very well. We're definitely getting better. The criticism of India might be that the swinging and seaming ball that people didn't play as well. But I think the more people can get around the world is getting smaller. I think it's great that players can go and experience these things.
And I think perhaps an even bigger criticism of English cricket, especially in the limited overs format, was not scoring too aggressively. Yeah. How quickly has that changed? And we'll come back to that as Bhuvneshwar Kumar continues to bowl to Kusal Mendes. 2 slips in position, short of length on the off stump. He sets off for a run. Throw there from the fielder at cover. We'll have to wait and watch. There was no backing up. They were gone to fine leg. Batsmen are able to cross over. Not the best example of India's fielding there.
No, I think it was brilliant fielding in the first place. Very alert and had a shy at the stump. I don't know if it's the same in the Indian camp, but certainly Syria and England, it would be very much. It's the guy backing up. It's your responsibility to get the ball. If somebody feels they can run somebody out, you take that shot. You try and run him out. So it's the guy backing up that should be getting the telling off, not the guy that's thrown the ball.
Again, the fielder was in the deep, perhaps. So, it was a chance to be taken. That's what international cricket is all about. Kumar now coming round the wicket to Gunatilaka with just the 1 slip in position. This time short of length on the middle leg, and he's pulled it. This cover in the deep. Remember, 10 overs are over. This time pulled it down to square leg for just a single. He moves on to 28, 46 for 1.
You can just see him. He's just starting to squeeze the bat handle a little bit tighter. He tried to make something out of a pretty good ball there from Kumar. And I just think that's what he does to the batsman. He's bowling such a challenging length. The batsmen have to make the running. They have to take risk. And that is why he's such a fine bowler.
Kumar on the top of his mark now, bowling to Kusal Mendes. Just the 1 slip, a bit wideish. Not in your preferred wicket keeper. And down for 450 is up for Sri Lanka.
Yeah, 50 for 1. A little bit chancy, shall we say, this one from Mendes. Very good bouncer. Got it in and around the right ear. So it's difficult to pull and swivel. Top edge over the keeper for 4. Yet another moral victory for the bowler, but yet again it shows us 4 runs for Mendes. Both have been against Bhuvneshwar Kumar, who's been a little bit unlucky here.
Do you think he's a little bit on the shorter side as he comes in and runs this one? We'll get back to Garth on this. Again, short delivery, bit more pace there from Bhuvneshwar Kumar. 83 miles. Batsman just tucking under it.
I think we've seen all day the pitch is so good that if you just hover around the good area all the time without challenging with a short ball or challenging with something different to make the batters think, I think a batter can line you up. We touched on it before about maidens, and you don't see as many now because you almost bowl 4 dot balls. You want a single to get him off so you don't get hit for the boundaries.
Kumar once again to Mendes, one slip, waiting. This time pitch onto his leg stump, the batsman onto his front foot, plays it off his pads. Hardik Pandya pretty deep at the boundary on the leg side, has to run in. 2 runs for the batsman. And before Gareth leaves us, just a final comment on that whole situation with the IPL. Somebody like a Jason Roy is a prime example. He's gone all over, played in the Bangladesh League, played in the Pakistan League, played in the IPL now. And he is somebody who's been instrumental in getting England those good starts.
Absolutely, I totally agree with you.
Kumar this time on the pads once again. Fuller delivery to Mendes. He flicks it down off his pads to fine leg. Just the 1 run added, 11 gone. It's 53 for 1.
Yeah, I think we're very fortunate at Surrey that we see some of that. He comes back to us having learnt different things from different situations, like we're saying, different conditions. He's such a wonderfully gifted player, and it's just about trying to get the best out of these guys all around the world. It's not just selfishly for us, the Indian players coming here and playing. It just makes people better, more rounded players. They can play all situations, and certainly from a club point of view here at Surrey, we would say thank you very much for allowing him to go to the IPL, because we reap the rewards of it.
Absolutely, it's all about the exchange of knowledge, exchange of expertise, and now with the advent of T20 cricket, we are beginning to see more and more of that in world cricket. Gareth Batty leaves us, and he is replaced by former England fast bowler Alex Tudor, and we'll get his comments in just a bit. It's 53 for 1 so far in 11 overs. Sri Lanka, well, they're chasing India's 321 for 6. A brilliant 100 from Shikhar Dhawan, doing the job for India, as did MS Dhoni's half century. And now it's Jasprit Bumrah replacing Umesh Yadav from the pavilion end, short of lane. First up to Kusal Mendes, who defends it straight to fielder at backward point. Good afternoon, Alex.
Afternoon, Chetan. Afternoon, everybody. How are you, fella?
Good. We had a good lunch. You?
Yeah, I always have a good lunch. They know me well here.
Well, of course. So, India's fast bowlers so far. Impressed?
Yeah, I love watching Bhuvneshwar. I think he's the only bowler I've seen swing it in the whole tournament. He's fantastic, he is.
Bumrah now, one slip in position. Again, outside the off-stump, bit more width. Fuller delivery as well. The batsman on his front foot tried to drive it, not up to the pitch of the ball completely. Dot delivery.
Just gone are the days, isn't it, where India were just batsman. After sort of, I grew up or played against, Jadhav was one of my favourite bowlers. I used to love watching that man bowl, and then he came over and proed for Gloucester and got heaps of wickets. Fantastic bowler he was.
Bumrah once again, slip waiting. We also have mid-on, mid-off cover as well. This time in front of point. He's got the gap. Chase for Jadeja, but he'll run away to the fence for 4. Third 4 for Kusal Mendes. He's moved on to 21. Score for Sri Lanka, 57 for 1.
Yeah, just any bowler at all, when they've strayed off their line and length, they've just been punished. The wickets are good. And Bumrah there just gave him a little bit of width, short and wide, and he pounced on it. Mendes, and as you say, once it starts skating across the outfield of the worn wickets, the used wickets, such a big square here at the Oval.
Till the boundary, wickets line up till the boundary on both sides.
Yeah, all the way through.
Right, Bumrah to Mendes once again. This time more width, not getting too much bat on it this time. Not like the previous delivery, but there's a fielder in the deep now, so just the 1 run added. He moves on to 22. It's 58 for 1 with Gunatilaka facing.
Yeah, you don't want to be taking any libbies. I think that was Jadeja out there. He's got a fantastic arm. He's an athlete. Gets to the ball very quickly in his release. Very strong. One bounce to MS. So there was no risk of the batsman taking his arm on. So it was just a 1 run. But as you say, Bumrah just getting quite full there. Giving the width again. Fuller. And Mendes looking in good fettle.
Gunatilaka now. He'll be facing 28 so far of 26 balls. We have a slip in position, backward point cover and mid-off for him. This time just angled across the batsman, who helps it along down to third man. Bhuvneshwar Kumar, the fielder there. Just 1 run for that last delivery. 6 of the overs so far. And you said you like watching Bhuvneshwar, Kumar. Last over perhaps a bit shorter when Mendes took the attack to him.
Yeah, just a little bit short, but he's just so good. And if there's a wicket that's got, and he's a little quicker than you think. A lot of people think he's immediate. He's not immediate, but he bowls at high 80 mile an hour.
Bumrah to Mendes now, slips still in position. Fuller delivery once again, bit more width, but straight to the fielder at backward point. Rohit Sharma.
Yeah, I just enjoy watching him bat. I mean, obviously I've watched a lot and commentated on him in the IPL for TalkSport too, so I've seen a lot of him. And it's just a class of the man. Early on, he gets it to swing both ways. And then at the death, he can bowl a Yorker at will. He bowls this back of the hand, slower ball, and he outfoxes a lot of batsmen. He has that confidence now, and he's won the purple cap two seasons in a row. And with Bumrah, those two in tandem, especially at the death, you do not, as a batting team, want to be scoring too many, because they will not be giving you any freebies.
59 for 1 from 12 overs. It's Hardik Pandya to replace Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Alex Taylor's favourite bowler this afternoon from the Vauxhall, and he'll be bowling to Gunatilaka. Alex, how much is the margin of error for somebody like Bhuvnesh, who regularly pitches it short of length? We'll come back to that. Pandya to Gunatilaka, who's bowled it across the stumps, dropped it short, plays with soft hands in front of the fielder at point. Easy single for Gunatilaka.
Yeah, look, margin for error on these wickets, anybody who's bowling. As we saw, there were periods when Sri Lanka, especially at the back end, they had bowled some good deliveries, but within that, they just lost their discipline. And then you got punished. So then your over ends up going for 8 or 9. You just have to be on your basics, of just basically going top of off earlier on, and then getting your skills in. And if you don't, on wickets like this, 300s are a regular occurrence in one-day cricket here.
Right, change in the field once again. Slip going in for Mendes once more. Pandya also wants to bowl with him with the slip in position. Straighter delivery, Fuller on the off and middle, he comes forward and plays it defensively back to the bowler.
He's an exciting all-rounder. The Indian public, the fans must love Hardik Pandya. He's all action, very fit, great in the field, bowls quicker than you think. A lot of people think he's a medium fast bowler. Let me tell you, he can bowl fast. And we all know what hit in display, especially against Pakistan the other day.
Right, again from the Vauxhall end, one slip in position. Mendes facing, 22 not out, short delivery. Target in, the batsman letting it go, just getting under it.
And that's his go-to ball. That is his go-to ball. I've seen a lot of that now in the IPL, and especially against Pakistan. Just when he needs to just stop the run flow or whatever, his bumper is very quick, and it keeps a lot of batsmen honest. And obviously, it's a dot ball.
Well, that was 84.5 miles per hour. And after the previous match, Virat Kohli said in the press conference that one of the tactics with playing 4 fast bowlers is they were using the short ball more liberally, as we saw with Pandya on the last delivery. This time again, dug it in short, but Mendes standing tall on his crease, pulls it away, finds the fielder at fine leg, who puts in a great effort, was Jasprit Bumrah. Just the 1 run, keeps the batsman down to 1 run.
Yeah, great fielding, and that's the one thing this Indian side has done for the last maybe 5 years or so. They're fielding, and especially with Virat as captain, he's prime on fitness and keeping your levels high, so everyone has to muck in, and there's no sort of fielder out there that you look at and think, right, we've got to try and hide him in the field. Everyone is a quality fielder.
They didn't have the one bouncer rule in your playing days, did they, in ODI cricket?
Yeah, they did.
They did? Okay. Pandya this time from around the wicket, just a bit fuller, but on outside the off stump, a bit more width, and played it towards backward point. How much difference does it make with that one bouncer in that over to a fast bowler, especially in these conditions?
Yeah, it's rubbish. I'm always moaning. It's batsmen know, don't they? Because if you get it done early, they pretty much know that you're gonna have to be brave to try and do it again. So they just launch on the front foot and smack you over your head.
Slip has come out for Pandya, who's coming round the wicket to Gunatilaka. This time takes the aerial route on the drive through the quick and cover region, but there's protection in the deep, so just 1 run. End of the over, 3 from it. 13 gone, 62 for 1. Good start from Pandya.
Yeah, great start from Pandya, but Sri Lanka, they're doing okay here. They're doing okay. They just obviously lost the wicket of Dick Weller earlier on, and you'd have liked, or definitely the Sri Lankan fans would have liked him to be in for a lot longer, because if he's in for say 20 overs or so, he's going to have a lot of runs because he's so aggressive. But they've rebuilded. And they're doing a good job at the moment. As you say, you've still got dangerous batsmen, Chandimal, Angelo, Mathews still to come, Pereira who can hit the ball very far. So they just need to keep wickets in hand, keep ticking over, hit the bad balls when they're there. And as you say, you know, this game ain't over yet.
And Sri Lanka are doing something different from the rest of the teams. Throughout the tournament, we have seen all of them taking it slow in the first 10. Sri Lanka going opposite as Bumrah continues to Gunatilaka, straying down the leg side, who helps it along down to fine leg. Pandya quickly on the ball. They're coming back for 2. That's good running by the Sri Lankan batsman. Leg by is signalled by the umpire, but 2 good runs.
Yeah, fantastic. That's what they've got to do. They've got to run between the wickets hard if the boundaries don't come. Put these Indian fielders under pressure. Hopefully the bowler is going to be trying to do something different. And if he does, you've got to try and pounce on it and try and hit your boundary. But they've got to rotate the strike, take it for 6, 7 and over. If the boundary comes in, all of a sudden it goes into double figures.
Bumrah bowling with a slip in position for the left-hander. There's also backward point, extra cover, mid-off in place as well. This time takes the aerial route once again. Fuller delivery, but straight to the fielder at mid-on, who has a bit of a shy. That's Virat Kohli, always ready to have a shy at the stumps.
Yeah, it's fantastic fielding by the captain, leading by example. He's just there at mid-on, fantastic shot, just bouncing in front of him, diving to his left, got his hand down, but the impressive thing is he got up very quickly and had a shy at the stumps.
Bumrah on the top of his mark once again. We have mid-on, we have a deep mid-wicket, fine leg in position, third man, and a deep cover as well. Bumrah bowls to Gunatilaka. Very sharp bouncer, 85.6 miles per hour. Gunatilaka just sways outside the line of the ball.
That's better than any 6 you'll see, let me tell you. As a fast bowler, a bit of chin music.
Obviously as a fast bowler.
A little bit of chin music, let me tell you, just to keep the batsman honest. Look, yeah, you're playing some good shots down the ground. I've got this slippery bouncer. You just be careful, young man. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Always a fan of the bouncer is Alex Tudor. Again, Bumrah running in to Gunatilaka. 31 not out so far. 64 for 1 the score for Sri Lanka. Fuller on the off and middle, going for a quick run. Virat Kohli puts in the dive. Does not collect the ball though. Keeps them down to a single. 65 for 1 in the 14th over.
I think Virat might be just telling him, listen, don't be taking liberties to me. I'm not that old. And you're just lucky I didn't get it in the palm of my hand, I reckon what he's telling him. He just had a little word to him, didn't he? Just had a little word to him.
He always has something to say. Virat.
Well, that is true. But it gets him fired up, doesn't it? And he's able to control it because, you know, his stats and everything else, what he's done in the game will tell you. So it doesn't affect him in any way.
Right, so similar sort of feel for Mendes. Slip in position 2. Coming over the wicket to the right-hander. Back of length outside the off stump. He plays a true cover. His protection in the deep, just a 1 run added there. 66 for 1. And again, going back to the point that Sri Lanka, again, off to a quick start. Totally different from what any other team has done.
Yeah, and they did. They sort of started that, didn't they, all those years ago? 96, didn't you? Jaya Sarir and Kalu just absolutely causing mayhem, and all teams around the world had no idea what was happening, and that was like the pinch hitter. That's where it sort of started, didn't it, with Sri Lanka?
And it changed the way cricket was played. Bumrah coming round the wicket now to Gunatilaka. 32 not out. Tikwela the man out for 7 off Bhuvneshwar. Kumar this time again straying down, short delivery. He's tried to pull it. Did it get enough bat? Yes, he did. Pandya chases but cannot get through 4. Well, in fact, umpire signals leg by. Did not get enough bat on that, but just enough bat to get it down to the boundary. 14 gone. It's 70-1. And after a comment from Alex Tudor, take the action forward. It'll be Jim Proudfoot.
Yeah, just again, isn't it? You know, Bumrah, it was a good over by that last ball. You know, 4 runs, and then all of a sudden the 4 off the last ball ends up going for 8, and Sri Lanka just keep ticking along. I just say 70 for 1 off the 14 overs, run rate of 5. You know, the required run rate is 7. So, you know, it's still in the realms, let me tell you. They've still got very strong batters to come, and these two are just laying the foundations. Partnership now is 59 or 56, and they're ticking along very nicely. Afternoon, Jim.
Hi, Toots. It's Pandya that's coming in from this Vauxhall end, and he bowls a decent length. Just squares Mendes up a little bit. There's no run. 70 for 1 then at the start of the 15th over. The highest score that Sri Lanka have forever got at the Oval was 319, which was against England back in 2006. It's 322 to win this one, with a required rate of just less than 6.5 at the start. That rate has only snuck up to just above 7 at the moment. They've done a good job. Good start to the innings. That one just a little bit short of the diving fielder. It was a false shot, an excellent ball from Pandya. Mendes on the front foot, and it just came off the outside edge, a thick leading edge. Well, it just came, I don't know, 3-4 inches short of the fielder, no more than that.
Yeah, it just didn't quite come onto him as he would have liked, Jim. He just got his hands in front of him, and when you play out in front of you, the ball's obviously going to go a little aerial. For him, obviously lucky, it didn't quite carry to the fielder there.
Pandya again into Mendes, into a better shot that time, backwards of square.